Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. We're going to do something a little different today. Instead of a gear review, I'm going to throw it way back, kind of throwback Thursday thing, even though it's Friday, to one of the very first articles I ever wrote for a major magazine. This was an article I wrote for Field and Stream probably 15 years ago at least, and it's how to get more shooting light out of your day. Deer are crepuscular animals, and that means that they feed primarily, and their activity revolves more around dawn and dusk. They're more active. That's when you see them more around those times, as opposed to a diurnal or a daytime activity. I love hunting evenings because I'm not a morning person, to be honest with you, and so a lot of my shot opportunities come right at the end of daylight. I'm pushing right up against legal shooting light. Now don't take anything I say in this video to mean that I'm advocating or promoting or pushing for illegal activities. I'm just talking about, I know when I'm in the woods a lot of times, sometimes 10 minutes before legal shooting light ends, I'm at a point where I can't see anymore, and I need to start getting down and working my way out to the end of the woods. And so, that last 2 minutes, 3 minutes of shooting light, if you can get a leg up on that, sometimes that might be all you need to put that big booner on your wall. So let's talk about some of the tips that I wrote in that article. One of them is I wrote about setting up your pins, especially for if you're Midwest whitetail hunting in the Midwest. 20, 30, and 40 yard pins, I stagger them. This is my son's bow. I stagger them for a 20, 30, 40, and I put it green, yellow, and red. And I do it very much on purpose. Red, most people's eyes lose visibility. That pin will wink out, if you will. It will become dimmer than the other two pins sooner than the other ones. So, let's say if you're using a 10-minute window, at 10 minutes till dusk or dark, you're starting to lose visibility of that red pin. Maybe 5 minutes before light ends, you're starting to lose visibility on the yellow. Yellow seems to go a little bit after red, but a little bit before green. And then green, for most people, especially me, green is the last one that I can see in low light conditions. I wrote about in that article that I also correlate this to a stoplight. Red is your 40-yard pin. As it starts to wink out, and if I see a deer come up, that's a signal to me to say stop. Do I really want to take that shot in low light conditions at 40 yards? A little bit later than that, you can see the yellow, and you're like, maybe I need to be cautious of this shot. Again, relating it back to the stoplight. Yellow, 30 yards, can I wait a little bit more and get a better shot opportunity? And then greens go. I mean, all systems go. If he's at where I need to, if I can put a 20-yard pin on him and it's green, baby, let her rip. So again, we're correlating that back to that's the order they wink out to me in fading light conditions. It also is a signal to my brain to go, stop, can I get a better shot? Let's be cautious of this one. Baby, let her rip. So green, yellow, and red, and red, yellow, and green in that reverse order is the way they wink out on you. As I got more and more bow hunting experience, and this is my elk hunting bow, which I do take whitetail hunting most of the time. Had it factory dipped in my favorite Predator Fall Gray. This one's set up from 20 through 70. And red, as my eyes get older and age, red is harder and harder for me to see. So I actually, in the years following that article that I wrote, I just did completely away with red. So now it's just green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, which serves really well to, if I see an animal at 50 yards or 60 yards, I count down 20, 40, 60 in greens and 30, 50, 70 in yellows. So super simple for me to get on an animal really quickly. I actually had that question come up on Facebook yesterday when someone saw all my pins, and I'm like, so easy, go 20, 40, 60, bam, pop the shot off. So that's tip number one in fading light conditions. Tip number two, these smartphones are ubiquitous in nature nowadays, meaning they're seemingly everywhere. Everybody's got a phone. They're always playing on them. I'm guilty of it myself. There's no telling how many big bucks over the last 5-10 years have lived another day because someone was glancing down, playing on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. So the thing is, as light fades, these things can rob our night vision. So if you don't know what you can hit the home button here, and if you just swipe up on your screen like that, swipe up. Again, most probably people know this, but people don't think to do this in the stand. Then you can take your screen dimness or brightness and drag that down with your finger, and you'll see that screen completely dimmed down. At the last 10 or 15 minutes, quite honestly, I know a lot of people will say, you shouldn't even be on your phone during prime time. I get it. But as the light starts to fade, if it's an overcast day or whatever, dim that screen down. You'll save your night vision, and you can see through that peep, see your pins a lot longer than if you get a text, from your wife or somebody, a friend who doesn't even know you're in the woods, and they say, hey, what's up? And you look at it and like, I just ruined my night vision. Go ahead and dim that down ahead of time. Tip number 2. And lastly, tip number 3 that we're going to close out here today with, everybody wears a hat into the woods. It's just like part of your hunting uniform, right? You got to put the boots on, camo on, everything's got to match, and you got to have a hat on, right? Well, what's the purpose of a hat? It shields us from the sun getting in our eyes so we can see better, right? We don't have to squint so much. You don't have to cover your hands. It shields us from the light. Guess what? If you flip that scenario and reverse it, when it gets to be that last 10 minutes of light, I take my hat and I turn it like this. You would be amazed at how not having that bill, you don't think in the woods that the sun's not directly shining your eyes or everything. It's not really necessary. Flipping the bill of the hat over can gain you an extra couple minutes of shooting light. You'd be surprised. So guys, I hope these 3 tips have helped you. Stagger your pins accordingly. Use the colors of the pins of the fiber optics to your advantage. You can manipulate them. You don't have to settle for what the sight company sent you. Flip them, manipulate them, do whatever you need to make it in your favor. And then be cognizant of that phone and that bright light. And then third, flip that hat around. Get yourself an extra couple minutes. Again, don't do anything illegal, but if you can grab another couple minutes and that big buck walks in, that last minute of shooting light, just might be the ticket to put him on your wall. See ya.